Welcome to the Praetorian Legion's Boot Camp video series. In this video today we're going to finalize discussions about skill trees and the effect that small variations have on gameplay. To begin with today, let's go to the pilot trees and let's talk about what the pilot trees do. In the pilot tree you can enhance modules, that are going to be going on your mech. So like with the capture accelerator, you can increase the capture rate by an additional 15%, so it means that it captures 30% faster instead of just the 15% that you get with the stock. You can get your airstrike accuracy and artillery accuracy and decrease the size of the bombardment area. These two modules have to be equipped on the mech themselves, whereas there's consumable upgrades that you can equip that will simply make it perform on par to the store-bought items. But back to the mech modules. As you can see, there's a lot of them there that you can cover. This brings us down to where the weapon modules are. In the weapon modules, you have to, you buy the module first, you unlock it so that you can purchase it with C-bills in-game, which we went through the place to do that on a previous video. But with this, you can actually enhance to the maximum that you can do with it. So you can either unlock it and get 2% bonus, or you can get a 10% bonus on something like range, or it's 12% on cooldown. The reason why this is important is I want you to consider for a moment a inner sphere ER large laser. Its maximum effective range is 1,350 meters. Now at that 1,350 meters, it's doing 0.1 damage. If I enhance the range by about 10%, by the way, that 0.1 is an estimate. It might actually be less than that. It might be a little bit more. I haven't seen the exact scale for drop-off damage, but I know it exists. Going forward with that though, if I add 10% to that range modifier at the base, well, I can estimate that I'm going to be doing 1 tick of damage at 1,342 meters with that 10% range increase. And I don't have that drop off until 1,484 meters to do that 0.1 estimate. So 10% makes a difference. It matters. So just food for thought for you. Welcome to the Praetorian Legion's Boot Camp series of videos. In this video today we're going to be rebuilding an Atlas DDC that was freshly purchased. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop it open and we're going to take a look at what it has on it. And I personally don't like the weapons loadout, don't like the placements, I don't like a few different things, so I'm just going to strip it off. Next step I'm going to do is I'm going to put the armor values where I feel most comfortable with them at. So this is all about personal preference here. Some people like to run a little more armor on the back than other people. Other people like to run a lot less armor on the back than other people. So it's all based on what your experience level is, and as you get better you might decide to change it. It just depends on how good you are at keeping your back away from the enemy. Now that we've done that, I don't want to spend any money on an engine, so I'm going to click the Own tab so that it filters by items that I own. Now, for me personally, on an assault class like the Atlas, I'm going to run a standard engine. The reason for that is even though an XL300 is lighter than a standard engine, there's a few trade-offs to it. Well, to begin with, to gain 9.5 tons, I have to sacrifice 6 slots in the sides, which in and of itself is not a major situation or concern. The concern comes from the fact that while running an extra light engine or an XL engine, that if I lose this side torso in combat, I'm out of the fight for good because it disables the entire mech chassis. That's a little bit different than the Clan XLs, but we'll cover the Clan XLs in a later video. Back to what we're focused on, which is building out my mech. Well, looking at it, I noticed that it just comes with standard heat sinks, and I personally prefer to run double heat sinks when possible. We covered heat efficiency in a different video, so I won't get into that. Alright, weapon systems wise, let's see, we've got 2 ballistic slots. I don't think I own what I want to run. I'm going to be bad and I'm going to run 2 LBX-10s. just personal preference. You can run an AC-20 in there. You can do a couple other things, but I just want the LBXs for fun today. Then I'm going to run 3 SRM6s. I should probably check what their quirks are, because quirks make a big difference. So it doesn't look like anything too special going on there outside of what I normally would do. Alright, this brings us to the next phase, which is deciding on energy weapons. Throw a large laser, throw a large laser. Alright. And the one that we definitely need is Guardian ECM. And we're feeling kind of light there for ammo, so we're going to come down here to armor upgrades or structure upgrades. Well, if I grab the ferrofibrous, it takes 14 slots and gives me 1.97 tons available. Whereas if I grab the endosteel, it goes ahead and it gives me 14 slots for 5 tons freed up. Notice the difference there. Ferrofibrous 1.97, endosteel gives us 5 tons. The reason for this is that endosteel gives you a savings off of the internal structure of the mech chassis, whereas your ferrofibrous gives you a savings on the external armor that's equipped. Your structure is always going to be heavier with the way the current game mechanics work than your armor ratios were. So that's why you're always going to have that, and it's pretty much, I'm going to say, always a better option to run endosteel over ferrofibrous. I've never seen a case where it was not. But by doing that, I freed up enough space so that I can slap on some additional ammo. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the ammo tab and we're going to grab some LBX ammo. We're going to grab some SRM ammo. And we're still doing good on ammo, so let's throw an LBX-10 in the head. We'll throw an SRM there. That heat, yeah. You know what, I'm concerned about the heat values on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off one large laser. We're going to grab a large pulse laser. And then we're going to grab a medium laser. The reason why I'm going to grab a medium laser is if you look at it, the cooldown's 3 seconds, the duration's 0.9 seconds. Interesting tidbit about the inner sphere, or all the laser weapons, is that the cooldown doesn't start until the duration gets finished. So that means its effective cooldown is 3.29. With the large pulse laser, its effective cooldown is going to be sitting at right around 4. It's like 3.92 or 3, something like that. I'm not going to do the fine math right now because my head's not working properly. But needless to say, they're going to be very close on their cooldowns. It's going to fit right where I need it to be at range-wise, with a max range of 730 and optimal of 365. The LBX's optimal is 540, but you got the spread, which means I want to be firing at about the same range as the large pulse. And the SRM6s, of course, have a max range and optimal range of 270. The medium laser's max range is 540 with an optimal 270. So weapon systems will be right where we need them to. Cooldowns will be right where we need them to, so we can torso twist and do everything right around the 4-second mark. So the LBXs are a little bit different. They've got a 2.5 cooldown, but just increases heat management if I torso twist a little more before firing them. Alright, well, let's go ahead and let's throw some double heat sinks on there since we're running into the headway. Well, this could be a bit of a problem. 1.22, well, let's go ahead, let's take the LBXs off. And let's grab an AC-20. And with that, we can get rid of the structure upgrade. And now we can throw the AC-20 ammo in there. And we have a lot of space left over for double heat sinks. See, our heat efficiency went up to 1.33. You know, I'm going to shave just a little bit of armor in a few places. So that we can get another double heat sink. So that we're sitting at 1.36 heat efficiency. And that's my quick slap together DDC build. I tried to balance the weapon systems so they got similar cooldown periods. AC-20s at 4 seconds. I did the SRM-6s because they have a cooldown of 4. They got for a lot of punch. I mean, you take a look over here at our firepower, our alpha is going to be 74.7. And we're not going to generate any ghost heat by doing that. Our heat efficiency is going to be at 1.36, which is in that nice spot that we want to be at between 1.25 and 1.5. We could do a few things to enhance the heat efficiency, but I don't think it's worth worrying about right now. Our armor's at a good value. Our speed's not quite as high as I would like it to be, but it will definitely do what we need it to do. And I could change out the engine to get more speed, sacrifice the large pulse laser, the medium lasers. You know, I could adjust a few things, but I think this is sitting right at a good spot. I will probably modify the mech build a few times after I've played it, so let me go ahead and save what I've done to it. Oh, I forgot the most important step to the entire process. Got to go back in and fix it after this thing gets done saving. Always remember to run modules, your consumables on there. And for me, I like to run the artillery strike, and I like to run the UAV. And I like to have those auto refill. And then for mech modules, I'm a cheapskate, so we'll throw seismic on there since I already own it. And I haven't researched the target info gathering, so even though I own 2, they're locked out. They're giveaways, compliments of PGI. I will go ahead and throw the range module on there for the medium laser since I have it. And what that'll do for us is it should put us out a little bit closer to where we want to be at for our optimal ranges on the medium laser compared to the large pulse lasers. Alright. Let's go test how it does in a match.